Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 greatest underdog stories in sports history. You know, folks, sports has a funny way of uniting us all. From the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat, we ride that roller coaster of emotions together. But there's something truly special about those moments when the improbable happens, when the underdog rises to the occasion and shocks the world. These are the moments that defied the odds and inspired millions. Stories that remind us that anything is possible if you dare to dream and have the heart to chase that dream. Now, let's talk about Leicester City, folks. 5,000 to 1 odds. That's what they were facing at the start of the 2015 to 2016 Premier League season. 5,000 to 1. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gave them a snowball's chance in you-know-where. The pundits were laughing, the experts were scoffing, but you know what? These foxes, they didn't care. They blocked out the noise, they tuned into their manager Claudio Ranieri, and they played with a heart and a hunger you rarely see. Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, N'Golo Kante. These guys became household names, defying every expectation and pulling off one of the biggest upsets in sports history. 1980, Lake Placid, New York, a bunch of amateur American college kids versus the mighty Soviet Union's Red Army team, winners of the last 4 Olympic gold medals. Talk about David versus Goliath. The Soviets were a well-oiled machine, known for their skill and experience. But those American boys, they had something else. A fire in their belly, a belief in themselves, and a coach, Herb Brooks, who instilled in them an unwavering spirit. They skated their hearts out, played with grit and determination, and in one of the most iconic moments in sports history, they pulled off the impossible, beating the Soviets 4-3. Let's be real, folks, Mike Tyson was the most feared man on the planet back in 1990. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, knocking out opponents left and right. Buster Douglas, on the other hand, he was a 42 to 1 underdog, given no chance by anyone. But you know what they say, that's why they fight the fights. Douglas, he wasn't intimidated, he fought the fight of his life, showing incredible heart and determination. And in the 10th round, bam! Douglas landed a right hook heard around the world, knocking Tyson out cold. Chapter 4, The Greek Gods of Euro, 2004. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gave Greece a chance at the 2004 European Championship. This wasn't just a David versus Goliath story, this was David versus multiple Goliaths. They were facing the best teams in Europe, Portugal, France, the Czech Republic, teams loaded with superstars. But Greece, under the guidance of coach Otto Rehhagel, had a game plan, a disciplined, defensive, counter-attacking style that frustrated their opponents. They played with passion, they played with pride, and they shocked the world, winning the tournament in one of the biggest upsets in international soccer history. Chapter 5, Gardner's Gold, Toppling the Russian Bear. The year 2000, the Sydney Olympics, and Rulon Gardner, a wrestler from Wyoming, is facing Alexander Karelin in the gold medal match. Now, Karelin was a legend, undefeated in international competition for 13 years, hadn't even given up a point in 6. He was known as the Russian Bear for a reason. But Gardner, he wasn't afraid. He wrestled a smart match, tiring out Karelin, and in the end, he pulled off the seemingly impossible, winning the gold medal and ending Karelin's reign of dominance. Chapter 6, The Helmet Catch Giants Silence the Patriots' Perfect Season. Super Bowl 42, the 18-0 New England Patriots, led by Tom Brady in his prime, were on the verge of making history as the first NFL team to complete a perfect season since the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Standing in their way, the New York Giants, a team nobody gave a chance to win. But Eli Manning, he had other plans. He evaded the Patriots' pass rush, somehow escaped a sure sack, and threw a prayer downfield. And who was there to make the catch? David Tyree, a special teams player, who pinned the ball against his helmet for one of the most improbable catches in Super Bowl history. The Giants went on to win the game, ending the Patriots' perfect season and cementing their place in Super Bowl lore. Chapter 7, The Miracle Mets' Amazing Grace in '69. In 1969, the New York Mets, a team that had never won more than 73 games in a season, a team known more for their blunders than their brilliance, were facing the heavily favored Baltimore Orioles in the World Series. The Orioles had stars like Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson, and they were expected to make short work of the young Mets. But the Mets, led by their pitching staff, Tom Seaver, Jerry Koosman, and Tug McGraw, had a different script in mind. They played with a fearlessness, a joy that captured the hearts of New York City and beyond. They defied the odds, winning the World Series in 5 games and becoming forever known as the Miracle Mets. Chapter 8, We Believe Golden State's Unforgettable Upset. Let's go back to 2007. The Golden State Warriors, a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 13 years, were facing the mighty Dallas Mavericks, the #1 seed in the Western Conference led by MVP Dirk Nowitzki. The Mavericks were the heavy favorites expected to cruise to the NBA Finals, but the Warriors, they had Baron Davis and Monta Ellis and Jason Richardson. They played with an energy, a swagger that captivated the NBA. They pushed the pace, they knocked down shots, and they shocked the world, becoming the first #8 seed to defeat a #1 seed in a best-of-7 series. Chapter 9. The Crazy Gang conquers Wembley Wimbledon's FA Cup fairy tale. 1988, the FA Cup final, Wimbledon, a team known as the Crazy Gang for their physical style of play, were facing the mighty Liverpool, the dominant team in English football at the time. Liverpool was a team of stars with the likes of Kenny Dalglish and John Barnes. Wimbledon was a team of journeymen, led by their inspirational captain Dave Beasant. But on that day, at Wembley Stadium, Wimbledon played with a heart and a determination that Liverpool couldn't match. They fought for every ball, they defended with their lives, and in one of the biggest upsets in FA Cup history, they won the game 1-0. Chapter 10. Nowitzki's revenge, Dallas denies LeBron's Heat. Remember 2011, folks? The Miami Heat, with LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, were the NBA's newest super team, expected to dominate the league for years to come. They were rolling through the playoffs on a mission to win their first championship together. Standing in their way were the Dallas Mavericks, a team that had been to the finals before but had fallen short. Led by Dirk Nowitzki, the Mavericks were on a mission of their own, to avenge their 2006 finals loss to the Heat. They played with a focus, a determination that surprised many. Nowitzki, battling a fever, was simply unstoppable. They silenced the critics, they overcame the odds, and they won the NBA championship, cementing their legacy as one of the greatest underdog stories in NBA history. Outro: The Heart of a Champion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing sports stories. From the playing fields to the ice rinks to the courts, these underdog stories remind us that anything is possible if you dare to dream. Which underdog story inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments below.